Hello, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Josiah Agro TV. Today, I'll be discussing about security and diseases. These are the two things that can bring down a farmer, a livestock farmer, if you're not careful. Security and diseases. So, I'll be talking about these two things in this video today and how it can help you in your farm. But if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, subscribe right now. Turn on your notification bell so that you receive videos like this anytime I post. You'll be the first to be notified if you turn on your notification bell. Also do well to like this video and drop your comments. What do you think about this video? Drop your comments if you want another video just like this one. Um, Today I'll be talking about security and diseases. Now let me start from security. As a livestock farmer or as a goat farmer, security is very important. Most beginners, if they want to start their farm, they have watched other videos, other YouTube videos, and other videos on other platforms, and they want to start their farm. What the mistake they do is that they go very far into the bush to start their goat farm. You go very far into the bush and you don't make provision for security. If you're going very far into the bush or very far to start up your goat farm there, then you should think about the security. You should think of either employing security or any other means you can secure your farm. You don't just go to a bush, start your goat farm there, then you're living very far from that place and you're living from your place to that place. Maybe your workers are not even staying there. Maybe you just decide to build that place as your farm, then you go back to your house. The next day you go to that your farm. It will not work that way. So you need to think about the security. Is either you hire a security, but if you don't have the money to hire security, then better you should start your farm in a place where you know is secure. Somebody cannot just walk into your farm and steal your animals. You should think about that before starting. Now if you look at this place where I am, this farm is actually in the city and it is fenced round. And apart from that, this place, there are securities around that you cannot just take a goat. And my neighbors around know I have goats here. So you cannot just come in here, carry my goats and go out easily like that. So I'm not saying it's 100% secure, but at least it is secured. It is secured. Not going into the bush, deep into the bush, set up your good structures, stock your good animals inside, and live. Livestock farming is not like crop farming, where you can just go plant your crop and then go to your house. The next day you go back to the farm and you weed just like that. No, livestock, you have to make sure there's security. Even plants, you still secure, but it's not as crucial as livestock. Livestock, you have to make sure there's security. Somebody can just walk into your farm and steal your animals, specifically goats. Goats are easy to steal because they don't bite and they don't fight. So they're not like dogs, where if you go and carry a dog can bark or bite you. They are very easy to steal, so you have to make sure there's security. Then number two is disease. As a livestock farmer, you have to make sure that you have a little knowledge about disease. If you don't have more, you should have a little knowledge about disease control, and how to administer some key medications to your animals. You don't just depend entirely on your vets. You have to also learn how to administer some medications to your goats. Because if you depend entirely on your vets, most of those vets, they will come and they will charge you. Of course, it's their work they are doing. They will charge you. And if your animals are getting sick all the time and they are coming and they are charging you or paying, how much are you going to sell that animal? Don't forget, the aim of you starting a farm is to make profits. You're not just starting it, except maybe you're keeping this animal as pets. And even if you're buying a pet, you should buy at least one or two as pets. But if you're keeping animals for business, you should learn how to, number one, prevent your animals from getting sick. You have to learn, there's a saying that prevention is better than cure. You have to learn how to prevent. And how do you do that? You make sure that your animals have clean water, they are you're giving them the right feed, their environment is very clean. At least that one will help to prevent disease in your farm. And also in the aspect of feeding, goats love, or livestock. Okay, let me just use goat, rams, and other livestock. They like to eat varieties of food. Most people want to feed them, they say this food is proteinous, so they want to feed them with only that food. They want to give them that food because it contains protein, it will help their animals to build very fast. But it's not like that. You don't have to feed your animal with one particular kind of feed all the time. Goat like varieties. They love varieties of food. Sometimes they want to eat maybe the beans, chaff. Sometimes they eat the hay. Sometimes they eat grasses. Sometimes they eat shrubs. They like to eat variety of food, not just one particular kind of food that you have to feed them. That's why here, even in this place, I have moringa, I have other shrubs around where sometimes I give it to them to eat, sometimes I get other food to give them. Sometimes they eat grass, sometimes they eat maize, sometimes they eat uh, wheat bran, and they eat a lot of varieties of food. So you don't have to feed your goats with just one particular kind of food. If you are in a place where there are a lot of grasses, a lot of shrubs, then you should go to the bush, get some for them. If you don't want your animals to graze, you can go to the bush, get some and bring for them. Don't feed them with a particular kind of feed. You can feed your animals with dry grass like hay. You can feed them with fresh wood as well. Sometimes they like to eat fresh vegetations. So you feed them with fresh and you feed them with dry as well to balance. They like to eat varieties of food. Don't just feed them one particular kind of food. Then also you have to learn how to give some key medication like dewormers and other medications. Dewormers, most of them are given orally, while some are given with injection. Some are injectable, while some are orally. So you have to learn some key medication as well, so that you don't have to call the vet all the time. You don't have to call the vet all the time. Though you still need a vet in your farm, but you don't have to call the vet all the time. You also have to learn how to administer some of these medications. So if you take these two things I have told you very, very seriously, you will succeed in your farm. You have to make sure that in your farm there is security, and also you have to make sure how to control disease in your farm. Apart from administering medication, you have to make sure that any animal you're bringing into your farm should be first quarantined. You have to quarantine that animal, keep it separately. Don't just bring any animal. Maybe you see the animal is healthy, you just bring it and mix up with your flocks. No, if you do that, you'll be introducing disease to your farm, and that disease can wipe away the whole of your flocks. So you have to make sure that, number one, you have to make sure that you quarantine the animal, and during that period of quarantine, you have to examine to see if that animal is having any symptoms of any disease, and it is during that time that you vaccinate that animal before you allow them to join with the order of your flocks. So you have to learn this. Number one thing that will make you succeed is the passion. But passion is not just enough in livestock farming. The passion is what will keep you in the business, but it's not enough. You have to learn some key things. Some people just see animals, they feel like they want to bring them into their farm, and some will just see like the boa, the Kalahari. You see some of those exotic breed, and you want to bring them to your farm. Yes, it is nice to have those animals in your farm. It is very nice to have those animals in your farm, but you have to learn first. As I always say, you have to learn. Start with lesser animals. If you have not done goat farming before, if you have not had goats before, you have to start with lesser animals, so that if you lost one of that animal, it won't pain you that much. But if you buy one Kalahari, you buy one boa in Nigeria, and you lost that animal, I bet you may cry. You may have high blood pressure. So start with lesser animals. When you understand the act of taking care of that animal, then you can bring in the exotic ones into your farm. You can bring in the exotic ones into your farm. So I just want to share this with you today, and I will be bringing more videos your way. So please do well to like this video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.